Beauty, as the poets say, is in the eye of the social media troll. Yet, these 21 star couples keep proving the critics need better glasses. Cue the flashing bulbs, sharpen those snarky comments, and settle in. From silver screen superheroes to billionaire tech bros, each man on today's list stepped off the Hollywood hamster wheel of perfect abs and perfectly airbrushed partners to follow his heart instead. Ready? Lights, camera, perspective. Jeffrey Arend and Christina Hendricks picture a flame-haired bombshell who could cosplay Jessica Rabbit without breaking a sweat, and the lanky comic shop hero who actually married her. When Mad Men's Christina sashayed into a party in 2007, Jeffrey, best known then for Super Troopers, looked like he'd wandered in from the wrong universe. Twitter spat out theories. Secret hypnosis? Lost bet? Nope. Just two theater nerds bonding over bad karaoke and better pizza. For nearly a decade, they laughed off the beauty and the geek jokes before parting amicably in 2019, proving love, like Joan Holloway's curves, doesn't fit any spreadsheet. David and Victoria Beckham. He bends it like Beckham. She bends every fashion rule, starting with smile for cameras. For 25 years, the football Adonis and ex-posh Spice have turned tabloids into full-time body-shaming bulletins. She's too thin, too frosty, too everything. He's a living Instagram filter. Together they built a billion-dollar brand, 4 impeccably cheekbone children, and an unshakable front row at Paris Fashion Week. Critics ask if it's love or marketing. The Beckhams politely shrug from their yacht. Matthew Broderick and Sarah Jessica Parker. Ferris Bueller meets Carrie Bradshaw in a Broadway rehearsal room naturally. He's eternally boy next door. She's the patron saint of designer stilettos. For 27 years, New Yorkers have wondered how the slack jeans schlub snagged the queen of Manolo Blahnik. Answer: shared theater jokes, twin eccentricities, and a joint refusal to move to Los Angeles. When city gossip mutters that she out-chics him on every red carpet, SJP just adjusts his tie, he holds her purse, and the subway keeps rumbling on. Pierce Brosnan and Keely Shea Smith James Bond could have dated the entire Victoria's Secret roster. Instead, after losing first wife Cassandra to cancer, Pierce fell for a quick-witted journalist in 1994. 2 decades and 2 sons later, the internet fixates not on their philanthropy, but on Keely's post-baby curves. Each beach pap shot spawns fat shame headlines. Each headline gets nuked by Pierce's swoony interviews. She has the strength I can't live without. 007 diffuses society's beauty bomb with one eyebrow raise. Dean McDermott and Tori spelling reality TV's unofficial prom, king and queen of oversharing. They met on a Lifetime movie set, while married to other people, then turbocharged the scandal into 6 spin-offs, 5 kids, and more public therapy sessions than breakfast cereals. Critics sneer at dad bod Dean and surgically adventurous Tori. The couple cashes the checks anyway. True love? Toxic drama? Probably both. But hey, someone has to keep Lifetime in business. Daniel Moder and Julia Roberts, America's sweetheart, married her quiet cinematographer after he rewired her the Mexican lighting rig. And audiences short-circuited. Who dumps Hollywood hunks for the guy behind the lens? Julia did, and keeps doing so on New Mexico ranches far from paparazzi drones. Whenever skeptics joke he looks like her guitar-strumming handyman, Daniel just frames another perfect sunset shot of the woman with the billion-dollar smile. Tony Goldwyn and Jane Musky, Fitz from Scandal, oozes presidential charisma. Yet off-screen he's taken since 1987 by production design powerhouse Jane Musky, who drew the Pottery studio in Ghost before anyone cared about Trotolitz. Fans Googling Tony Goldwyn wife expect Olivia Pope. They get a silver-haired industry legend in sensible shoes. The 37-year marriage is so drama-free, Shonda Rhimes wouldn't dare adapt it. Hugh Jackman and Deborra-Lee Furness Wolverine fell for his leading lady on an Aussie prison drama set. She was the headline star, he the newbie, 13 years younger. 2 kids, multiple miscarriages, endless beard transformations, and 27 years later, trolls still call Deb too old, and Hugh secretly gay. They answered with couple workouts, Broadway duets, and, until 2023's amicable split, matching grins that said haters need better hobbies. Omari Hardwick and Jennifer Fauch. Roughly 200 words Omari Hardwick might play steely-eyed anti-heroes, but his real-life love story proves he's a certified good guy. Long before power made him ghost, publicist Jennifer Fauch was hustling to get directors to notice his audition tapes, rewriting bios, and feeding him pep talks between catering gigs. When the star finally hit, online tire kickers zeroed in on Jennifer's natural curls, low-key fashion, and broad smile. The nastier comments called her too plain, too manly, or claimed she must be transgender, because apparently confidence in sweats disrupts fragile beauty algorithms. Omari clapped back with the intensity of a rooftop shootout. Your lack of empathy is uglier than anything you accuse her of. Then he doubled down by thanking Jennifer for pushing him toward the role that bought those same critics subscriptions. While the internet dissected angles and filters, the pair tackled real missions, raising 2 kids, visiting college campuses to talk perseverance, and co-hosting charity 5Ks for bereaved families. Their joint mantra? Love loud, ignore louder. Translation: bench press stereotypes, mute the trolls, and keep dancing in the kitchen to old Outcast tracks, because haters can't hear you when the music's this good. John C. Reilly and Allison, Dickey. Roughly 200 words. File under Hollywood unions the tabloids keep forgetting exist. John C. Reilly, owner of cinema's most versatile face, able to swing from tragic to totally bonkers, has been married to producer Allison Dickey since rollerblades were considered futuristic. They met on Brian De Palma's Casualties of War set in 1989. He was the nervous new character actor. She was Sean Penn's uber-competent assistant, wrangling schedules and walkie-talkies. Sparks flew somewhere between Take 5 and the craft services table's stale donuts. By 1992, they were wed, plotting a life far from Hollywood's velvet ropes. Allison shifted into indie producing, championing oddball scripts like The Good Girl and Year of the Dog, many starring or cameoing her husband. Paparazzi photos? Scarce. Red carpet PDA? Virtually non-existent. That invisibility shield leads gossip blogs to recycle the same decade-old snapshot, endlessly debating who should get photoshopped prettier. Meanwhile, their real life hums along in Pasadena Gardens, Sunday Irish jams, and stealth trips to film festivals, where they sit in the back row, taking notes. Hollywood's loudest couples burn bright and fizzle. John and Allison slow-cook their story off-grid, proving fame is loudest when you're comfortable staying quiet. Paul Rudd and Julie Yaeger, roughly 200 words. Paul Rudd's career is a time-lapse reel of ageless grin, from, "Hey, I'm Josh and Clueless," to Marvel's quippy micro-Avenger. Yet the secret sauce behind the eternal youth? Former publicist Julie Yaeger, now a screenwriter, mom, and the reason Paul doesn't own a diamond-encrusted vanity mirror. They met in 1995 when he stumbled off a red-eye, late for an interview. She parked his luggage and cracked a joke about his bedhead. 12 minutes later, he asked her out for pastrami. 8 years later, they married in a tiny upstate ceremony with 0 magazine exclusives. Internet onlookers have tried to label Julie plain, average, the girl next door. Code for not glammed up enough for Ant-Man. Paul just smiles wider, credits her with teaching him TikTok slang, and sneaks her cameos into his press junkets. Julie wrote 2017's Fun Mom Dinner, a wine-soaked comedy whose PTA chaos mirrors their real-life carpools. Their romance blueprint? She edits his dad jokes. He praises her first drafts. They both delete celebrity gossip apps before breakfast. The result? 2 grounded kids, countless inside jokes, and a marriage aging as gracefully as Paul's suspiciously wrinkle-free forehead. Aaron Taylor Johnson and Sam Taylor Johnson. Roughly 200 words. Hollywood age gaps are usually older man, ingénue du jour. The Taylor Johnsons hit reverse. He was a baby-faced 18 playing John Lennon in Nowhere Boy. She was 42, the film's visionary director and mother of 2. Sparks ignored the call sheet hierarchy. Aaron proposed a year later, handing Sam a stack of love letters bound with guitar string. Tabloids screamed, "Cougar," and recycled one stale red carpet photo where she wore glasses. Surely proof she was actually his mum. 13 years on, the couple has 4 daughters, matching wrist tattoos, and joint screen credits. Sam shepherded the 50 Shades juggernaut. Aaron kicked butt in Kick-Ass, sped through Avengers as Quicksilver, and grew a Tarantino mustache. When trolls surface, Sam posts studio candids showing him learning to diaper while running lines, then gifts herself a birthday skydive. The love language here is collaboration. He punches up her dialogue, she blocks his fight scenes. They both ban cell phones at dinner. Their message to critics? Our timeline, our business. Translation: while you're counting birthdays, they're counting new passport stamps and bedtime stories. Somewhere, mildly bewildered Yoko Ono is applauding the unexpected Lennon sequel. John Legend and Chrissy Teigen. Roughly 200 words. He writes the soundtrack to modern weddings. She live blogs breastfeeding mishaps. Together, John Legend and Chrissy Teigen are the couple equivalent of mixing satin sheets with meme culture. They met on the steamy stereo video shoot in 2006, bonded over junk food room service, and spent months texting international puns. Marriage followed in 2013 beside Italy's Lake Como. Vows punctuated by Chrissy's joking threat to trip if her gown didn't fit. The internet has never been gentle. Trolls call her plastic, too outspoken, built not bought, mocking every weight fluctuation and ugly cry, GF. John counters by dedicating Grammys, cooking her Thai recipes, and looking at her like a Hallmark card got feelings. 4 kids later, via IVF, rainbow pregnancies, and raw honesty, they still overshare, from postpartum mesh panty photos to his secret skincare routine. Spoiler, her lotion line. They've weathered tweet scandals, mental health battles, and one catastrophic salad dressing meme. Yet the household soundtrack is laughter, underscored by baby squeals. Lesson? A soulful falsetto plus fearless transparency equals a marriage that turns clapbacks into love songs and comment section chaos into cookbook royalties. Jesse Williams and Aaron Lee, roughly 200 words. Before Grey's Anatomy minted Dr. Jackson Avery, human jawline, Jesse Williams taught American history while renting a spare room from savvy real estate broker Arend Lee. She admired his lesson plans. He admired her blueprint for turning brownstones into generational wealth. Dating led to a Brooklyn courthouse ceremony in 2012, far from paparazzi. 2 kids and an avalanche of shirtless gifs later, fandom decided Aaryn wasn't glamorous enough, hurling insults about her natural hair and average looks. Instead of runway strolls, she juggled corporate tenants and toddler tantrums, tasks apparently less romantic than medical soap opera kisses. By 2017, the marriage fractured under career stress and relentless lusty tweets directed at Jesse. Their divorce became courtroom binge-watching for gossip sites, custody disputes, support payments, rumor volleys. Through it all, Aaryn launched Battered Moms, a podcast dissecting co-parenting, colorism, and survival. Jesse fronted civil rights causes, publicly stressing gratitude for her early belief in him. Post-split, they now exchange school drop calendars instead of vows. A reminder that love stories can morph without erasing origin chapters. Sometimes the anatomy of a relationship ends in surgical separation, yet both hearts still beat for the little people who call them Mom and Dad. Clive Owen and Sarah Jane Fenton. Roughly 200 words. Long before Clive Owen brooded across art house thrillers, he was a 1980s Romeo touring British Hamlets opposite Sarah Jane Fenton's Juliet. After countless balcony scenes, he asked her out over tepid tea. She hesitated, then answered with a backstage kiss. Fame found him first, yet Sarah Jane pivoted. Children's mental health researcher, PhD, crusader against NHS budget cuts. Gossip scribes, noticing her minimal makeup and cardigans, wonder why Clive, perpetual GQ list resident, doesn't upgrade. Clive responds by thanking her in every award speech and skipping after-parties for curry nights at home. Their daughters, Hannah and Eve, roll eyes when classmates parrot tabloid lines. Dad diffuses tension with Monty Python impressions. Mum with mindfulness exercises. When a magazine criticized her tired look, Clive quipped, "She's raising activism. What have you done?" They keep date nights simple. Provincial theater revivals, shared notebooks of half-written scripts, long walks along the Thames where no one shouts, "King Arthur." Their quiet pledge, he'll keep rescuing hostages on screen. She'll keep rescuing budgets for adolescent services. Love story moral? Real knights don't need shining armor when they already cherish a queen with doctoral credentials. Keanu Reeves and Alexandra Grant. Roughly 200 words. Keanu Reeves, patron saint of internet wholesomeness, spent decades evading tabloid romance bingo. Then came 2019's red carpet bombshell, hand in hand with artist and publishing partner Alexandra Grant, her silver hair gleaming like storm cloud silk. Fans gasped. Some applauded his age-appropriate choice. Others scrambled for dye filters, insisting she must be older. Jokes on them. Alexandra's only 9 years his junior and twice as interesting, having co-written philosophical picture books with Keanu and exhibited luminous text-based paintings worldwide. Their love brewed over late-night design sessions for ex-artists' books, fueled by matcha and Rilke quotes. She motorcycles, he collects typewriters. They swap first drafts instead of red carpet poses. Photoshop wizards tried to render her brunette. He replied by framing her gray-haired portrait on his office wall. Paparazzi catch them browsing rare poetry in LA's last bookstore, blissfully unaware of selfie seekers. Alexandra's mantra, "Stay weird, stay kind," meshes seamlessly with Keanu's beloved "Be excellent." Together they prove Hollywood beauty rules can take a hike, preferably on the Pacific Crest Trail, where these two actually trek when studio noise gets too loud. Mark Ruffalo and Sunrise Koine. Roughly 200 words. Mark Ruffalo's resume reads Hulk smash box office, yet his best role might be Sunrise Koine's husband. They met outside a Los Angeles dive shop in 1998. He, an anxious theater grad nursing eviction notices, asked a total stranger for directions. Sunrise, an aspiring actress from Northern California, saw potential behind the mop of curls and offered a ride. Within months, they were sharing a studio apartment the size of a Hulk fist. Tabloids rarely glimpse her because she swapped auditions for motherhood and eco-farming in the Catskills. On rare premieres, she appears makeup minimal, choosing Birkenstocks over stilettos, sending fashion blogs into collective naps. Mark credits Sunrise with pushing him to take You Can Count on Me, the film that rescued him from bartending. During his benign brain tumor scare, she ran interference with doctors, kept scripts flowing, and created a bee sanctuary to calm his nerves. Trolls whine she's too boho. Mark retweets her honey harvests, labeling them sweet miracles. Ask him about Marvel money, he answers. I only gamble on Sunrise. Turns out, even gamma-radiated rage monsters need a quiet beekeeper to remind them where kindness lives. Denzel Washington and Pauletta Washington. Roughly 200 words. 41 years, 4 children, 2 Oscars, countless sexiest man titles. Yet Denzel Washington still blushes when wife Pauletta belts out a gospel run. They met on the set of TV flick Wilma in 1977, where Pauletta, already a Juilliard-trained pianist and rising actress, had more credits than Denzel. He proposed 3 times. She finally agreed after a cab driver quoted scripture about patience. Pauletta turned down plum roles to anchor home base, mastering French, interior design, and scholarship fundraising, while Denzel evolved from St. Elsewhere resident to box office general. Rumor mills claim he owes her upgrades. She rolls eyes and cooks collard greens for neighborhood kids. At their 35th anniversary, Denzel admitted she handles finances because actors are dreamers. Pauletta is reality. When asked for marriage advice, she laughed. Keep the bathroom door closed. Mystery matters. They've rebuilt churches in Katrina's wake, paid tuition for strangers, and still leave love notes in each other's suitcases. Internet skeptics call her regular. Denzel calls her the wow in my life. Translation: red carpets fade, but the woman who prays for you backstage shines forever. Adam Driver and Joanne Tucker. Roughly 200 words. Before lightsabers and haute couture magazine spreads, Adam Driver was a recently discharged Marine studying at Juilliard, surviving on ramen and secondhand trench coats. There he met fellow acting student Joanne Tucker, whose stage presence was as unassuming as his booming baritone. While Adam wrestled with Chekhov monologues, Joanne shared playlists and insisted he visit her grandparents' farm for fresh air. Fast forward, he's Kylo Ren, Senate hearing meme, indie darling. She co-founds arts in the armed forces, bringing theater workshops to military bases worldwide. On red carpets, Joanne opts for minimalist gowns that prompt snoozy headlines like Plain Jane next to galactic villain. Fashion editors tut. Adam replies by lugging her garment bags himself. Parenthood arrived in secret. A stealth pregnancy paparazzi learned about a year late. Because privacy is their superpower. Brooklyn neighbors spot them jogging with rescue dog Moose, politely pretending not to notice Hollywood's hottest couple debating gluten-free muffins. Online fans pine for a glamorous match. Adam counters by naming Joanne the best scene partner on Earth. Moral: forgetting to chase flashbulbs might be the most rebellious Star Wars move of all. Mark Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chan. He created the social network that now judges everyone's vacation photos. She created a philanthropic foundation to cure diseases. Comment sections accuse Priscilla of dressing like a suburban mom, apparently forgetting that is exactly her day job. Mark's hoodies and her Target flats somehow birthed a $100 billion pledge to science. Not bad for 2 Harvard drop-ins. Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet, divorced, still legendary. Aquaman grew up watching The Cosby Show reruns, pointed at Denise Huxtable, and told his mom, "That one." He spent a decade manifesting before finally meeting Lisa at a jazz club in 2005. She's the boho soul 12 years his senior. He's the Polynesian mountain who still calls her "my moon." Even after their 2024 split, they co-parent, surf, and swap vintage motorcycle parts, making every red carpet age gap critic look as petty as a sea slug. Final curtain. From superheroes to headbanging sea kings, these husbands remind us the hottest thing a man can rock is unwavering devotion. And the bravest thing a partner can wear is authenticity. So next time a comment thread rates someone's league, maybe type a little less and love a little more. Because behind every clickbait headline is a couple just trying to order takeout without judgment. And that, dear viewers, is the real happily ever after.